Air signs. What's in the air? Whew, we need air. Air is a very important element in this life. We need air. We all need air. Without air, which is the mind, which is consciousness, there won't be no life. We need air, and the trees produce that. The trees give you that air. See? Air is very important in this life. And this is why I like air signs is the most important element. Because what's in the air? Everything is in the air. You got bees in the air. Even the air pick up dirt. The air carry water. The air, you hear sound in the air. See what I'm saying? The mind, it is symbolic of the air. The mind is a symbolic of the air. It's symbolic of the air. And that's why today I'm breaking down why the air signs is the best and the most important element. All elements is good. And no matter if you're an air sign or not, you still got some air in you. You got a little of all elements. And so some just who's an air sign, that just means this is the dominant element, the most controlling element that's a part of you. Now this your sun, this is your core. The air signs is your core energy. If this your sun sign. So that's why this is important, because the air is the core of who you are. If this your sun sign. Now, if this your moon sign, this is your emotions, it's airy emotions. If this your rising sign, this is part of your life forever. This your cosmic body, deal with the air. And so the air element is very important, very sacred. And you got the cardinal air, which is Libra. And cardinal means those who lead, initiate, and create something new. And then you got the fixed air. These are the persistent air, the stable air, the air that's rock solid. People who you can really trust, trustworthy. And then you got the air that's mutable, that can adapt to anything, that fit in like a chameleon. You see what I'm saying? And that's Gemini. So these air signs is the most important and can be the most psychic sign. Do you hear me? They could be the most psychic. They could be the most psychic. Now I'm talking about more psychic than the water signs. So I want y'all to understand that they can do almost anything that any other element can do, because the air can go into all of the elements. For example, the water is the past. The water is the past. The earth is the present. The fire is the future. The air goes into all of them. The air can fit into any of them elements. So that's how the air works. See what I'm saying? The air is like a booster. The air carries things. The air is what we need to live, give us life, the breath. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you can't see. And to the eyes that understand its own nature, they can see the air. See what I'm saying? Once you understand your element, you can see this air. You know what I mean? Because your eyes, you're aware to it. You see molecules, you see the soloness in the air, which is solar winds. And that comes from the sun. So even the sun is in the air. As you look, the sun is in the air. The sun is higher up in the air, as you see. And this is why it's important. You got different levels of the air, all the way from the higher up to what? Let me turn it around. The ground. The ground, as you see. The ground. And then you got also the water. So the air signs is the most important element there is. I said the air signs is the most important element there is. Because the air sign people, the traits they have is that they can adapt to anything. They love to learn. They're very curious. They love to explore. These people's minds is they want to know. They're very curious. They want to know. They will find the answer. They're great researchers. They do this for fun. It's like a hobby, like knowing your thoughts. They like to know your words, your thoughts, your vibration, your energy. They like to know it and understand it. So that's why they're the most understanding element. Without the air, you won't have no understanding. If you could be a Pisces or a Cancer or Scorpio, if you don't have none of the air in you, you wouldn't understand what you feel. You wouldn't understand what you feel. You wouldn't understand the energy that you channel or the energy that's all around you. See, the air gives you understanding. That's why it's the most claircognizance, which means clear knowing. They just know. The air sign just know. And how they know is through knowledge. Know means knowledge. Knowledge. And they get knowledge from what? Their experience. And they get knowledge from where? Within themselves. And this is why the air signs is the most important element. You see, even the bee or the wasps in the air that flew past my head. And so this is why the air sign is the most important. Because everything has air in it. Even the trees, as you see. Even the trees has air in it. So the air sign is very important, very sacred. So without air, there wouldn't be no life, period. And from air, you got all the other elements too. You got the sun, you got the sun, you got water, and you got earth. All that is part of what the air is. The air is the lightest form, the lightest. It's the least dense. While the earth is dense, the air is the least dense. But the air can become whatever it wants to become. And that's why it can go into the past, the future, the present, and everything else. Because the air can be whatever it wants to be. So now y'all understand, as I walk, you see these trees, you see the air, you hear sound in the air, you hear my voice in the air, everything carries in the air. And so writing is part of what the air sign is. Burning incense in the air, you do everything in the air. You produce air from when you speak, you vibrate, you create air, which is molecules. Air is a whole bunch of molecules put together. You got everything scattered in the air. But once you bring everything to one big ball like the sun, that's when you're working your true powers. Because once you bring everything together like the sun, then you're working your true powers, because you're doing this here. This creates magic because you bring everything together. Like you got a whole bunch of scattered energy. And it becomes one. It's a huge ball. It's circular energy. See what I'm saying? And so that's what the air sign people are trying to do. They're trying to get themselves together, all the scattered energy, and keep the balance so their mind won't be scattered. And they can listen to their intuition. Because I know. The air signs, and who the king of I know? Aquarius, right? See, you got three types of air signs. You got the Aquarius, the fixed, I know. It's for Aquarius to think outside of the box of what they know. And to listen to others, because they're here to know. See what I'm saying? But they're here to be fixed on what is right, not fixed on egotistic or narcissist type stuff, which air signs hard for them to do because air don't stick to nothing. The air don't even stick to nothing. The air keep moving. The air will cut you off. So Aquarius is here to know. They're here to know subjects. They're here to break down and dissect things and be the scientific mind. And this is what interests them. See, what interests an air sign is the mind, the intellect. Stuff like psychology, stuff like psychic abilities. That they want to know, because the air sign is here to give you lessons. They teach you. That's why they're the most important element, because they're the instructors, the teachers, and good at communicating in the mind. They're here to let you know how to become spiritual and how to heal and how to work your powers. They're here to break that down to you. See what I'm saying? This is why the air sign is the most important element. Everybody got some air in them. And if you got a lot of air in your natal chart, and then I'm talking to you too, because you got a lot of this in your chart. It just dominates your chart. Now you understand why you think like that. If your thoughts is all over the place, you're here to calm down and meditate. All air signs have to meditate to channel their energy, because they got scattered energy. Their thoughts are always moving. They always moving. So air sign people are restless. They stay on the move. They stay on the go. Just like you see the air, it's cool 1 minute. Then next minute, it's wild. You see what I'm saying? It's wild. And so I want y'all to understand this. The air element is the most important element. I'm a Libra. But water dominate my chart. You can see the emotions in me though. But it's under control by what? by my core. The sun is the core. The Libra is my sun sign. It's the core. It's my core energy. So my Libra helped me control my water sign. So if you got an air sign as your sun sign or your moon sign, and you got a whole bunch of water in your chart, your air sign will help you. It will help you control your psychic ability and understand it. See? You can't have no understanding without air. Air give you understanding. It give you information. It give you, and you love information. See? You got so much information that when something come up that you don't know, you just intuitively just know. It just pop up like claircognizance. You get so much information that it formed together, like the answer formed together within you, and then it strike like a lightning bolt, and now you know the answer. You claircognizance. I know, and this is the highest psychic ability is clear knowing, which is claircognizance. Where you just know, like, you can look at a person, aura, a Libra good at that, because Libra got Venus, we got the planet Venus in it. Venus is more a woman, so this got emotions, love emotions. So Libra more empathic air, see? Libra is creative air. Aquarius is more higher mind air. Aquarius deal with his own unique style, got to do his own thing. It can't be like nobody else. This is air that come up with ideas out of nowhere. They got the high claircognizance out of all the other signs. See, Libra ain't only claircognizance. Libra got the empathic air, empath. So they are mental empaths. They are receptive empaths, but they're also emotional empaths because of the Lady Venus. And now Gemini deal with Mercury. It deals with the mind. And Mercury deals with sound. Mercury deals with sound. It's more sound. Mercury is sound. So Gemini is like telepathic empaths where they pick up on information. They pick up on information. They pick up on information easily. So all of these signs are definitely mental empaths or mentally intuitive, but they work differently. Like the Libra is more in their heart. They're like creative empath, emotional empath, and mental together, empath. So they can pick up on your thoughts and can feel what you're talking about. And they can imagine, because air signs can imagine. So Libra can imagine what you're talking about and feel it. And they can put themselves in your shoes and understand you. And so the air sign is the most important and the most psychic when they want to be. When they want to be. Because some of them just live more in their thoughts, their rational thoughts. And this is how they fail. So, okay, let me go in further and deeper. I'm about to go in further and deeper for y'all folks and break it down more about the air signs. We got to go in deeper. This is my research. So the question is, why are air signs so smart? Are air signs the smartest? Air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, are talkers and communicators. Their intelligence comes in their ability to aid, which means to help, to explain or break down, and to engage, which means social. Air is the element, is the energy. Energy. You know what energy is? Energy, or some say God, some say the word, some say vibration. So air is the vibration element that we inhale. We inhale this vibration. Astrology or astrological. Our research, when I Google, all I did is copy and paste. So why are air signs so smart? Are air signs the smartest? When we say air signs, we're talking about Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And they are talkers and communicators. This naturally. So their intellect or intelligence comes in their ability to what? To aid. Aid means help. Explain, which means to break down things. And to engage, which means to socialize. Interact with people or places or things. So air is the energy element that we inhale. And what is energy? Energy deal with the mind, deal with the consciousness. Energy deal with vibration, deal with words, deal with sound. That we inhale. So we inhaling sound, we inhaling words, we inhaling symbolism, we inhaling energy is also color, we inhaling all this. And we know that the air is solar winds. Solar is what? The sun, right? It's nothing but sun winds, which means little molecules of the sun, energy of the sun that's in the wind. Molecules or atoms that's in the wind. So we know that the air sign deal with the mind. So basically they're saying the element of air is focused on inhaling your mind energy, consciousness. You know, the mind is consciousness. Inhaling, you inhaling information, you're inhaling words, you're inhaling sound, you're inhaling colors and consciousness. So air signs are gifted. They say gifted. This is like what naturally inborn with. The ability to concentrate, focus, focus their energy on ideas or focus their mind on ideas. You know, I'm definitely putting it into my own easy breakdown sense because that's why I don't read exactly as these people explain. Cause I give a better explanation. So I'm here to break down because I'm an air sign. Air signs do that to make it easy for you to understand. That's what air signs do. All air signs from Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The three air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We know that. They are the thinkers, communicator, and doers. They put it into action. Because they think of something, you think it. You know what I'm saying? They can feel it. They can think it, imagine it, they can feel it, and they can put it into action. So I told you the air sign can do it all. They like the jack of all trades. Because the mind is the ruler. So whoever controls the mind has the power to do all the abilities. And so the air signs is like that. They are the thinkers and the doers of the zodiac. So that's why if you got a lot of air in your chart, you don't have to be an air sign as a Libra sun or Libra moon or rising. But if you got a lot of that in your chart and you see yourself thinking a lot and you do this a lot because you got a lot of other air elements. So you got the ability to be one of the smartest and the best person on the planet. And if this your grand trine, you got an air grand trine, it's a natural gift to you. So we're talking to you too. I'm talking about air in general. But as far as the signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, the sun, this is at the core. This deals with the core of your heart. If it's the moon, this is your true self of who you are. And this is your rising sign. This is your whole cosmic body. This is your life. So or your journey. But if this you got a lot of this in your chart, this can help you aid you to the other elements that you have. And so it's good to have a lot of air element, at least a good percentage. You ain't got to have the most. If it's balanced, like you got air, earth, fire, and you got water, that's good too. But it's good to have a good percentage of it in there. Like mine, I got more water than air. And some charts I got air and water, they balance. They like equal. But by me having a good enough air in my chart to give me the ability to think, and definitely by Libra being the core. See, when it's your core energy, it don't matter. You don't have to have a lot of air in your chart, but if this your core, what you're born with, like a Libra, or Gemini, or Aquarius, if this your sun or your moon or something like that, you don't have to have a lot of air. You're going to do that anyway because it's your core energy. Now, so what do air signs do? They are thinkers. We know that. But they also analyze. So they be like intuitive thinkers, intuitive communicator, where they just say things and they didn't know they were going to say it and they just come out right with wisdom and on point. And people be impressed like, oh, because they like sometimes I'll be speaking and I didn't know I was going to say that. I said, did I say that? And then it's on point. That's your air signs, intuitive thinkers, and intuitive communicators. And they are your doers and your they the one who analyze the situation. So they intuitive when it comes to knowing the situation, knowing the problem, or knowing the human nature, because they deal with humanitarian issues. They deal with socializing, interacting with people through the mind and through communicating. You know what I mean? And so everything is information to an air sign. So that's why they like to socialize and be around people. They like to hear people talk, hear their perspective, and they like a little friendly debate, nice debates, and stuff like that. They like anything that deal with the thoughts. But sometimes they can overthink or overdo it and shut down and crash because they overthink and they can be very restless. And so they breeze through life, never stopping to catch their breath. And they deal with the breath, matter of fact, but they never stop. It could just keep going and going like an energizer battery. But they need that balance. Without that balance, they would shut down. Without the mind shut down, everything else gonna shut down. And so they have a live and let live mentality. And their intelligence helps them make decisions easily. They already got all this information for what they learn. They learn from everything. Air signs learn from everything. They learn from kids, babies, elders. They learn from everybody. They just love to learn. They love to know things. And that's if you have a Libra sun or Aquarius sun or Gemini sun, or you have these as your moon sign or your rising sign, or if you have a lot of air in your chart. And then you are that too. So boom, you understand that. You could be an Aries but have a lot of air in your chart, or have a air grand trine. So that means you got the ability too. Even if you don't have a lot of air, you got an air grand trine. I mean, this is easy to you. This you'll give naturally. So you got the ability too. It don't matter what sign you are. If you got a lot of air in your chart, this is specifically air. Not only this Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, but air in general. And air is the most powerful element, because air sign, these people are leaders of society. See what I'm saying? They are leaders of society. So I want y'all to understand that. Now, when we talk the more practical air, you be talking about more like Aquarius. Aquarius would be more practical air because they got Uranus, higher mind. So not only practical, they also in their higher mind. So when they bring them two together, this is how they win. They also could be at the roots, which means the earth, because they got Saturn as the secondary planet. Now, when we talking about Gemini more like the throat. It deal with sound, vibration, picking up on sound and lingo, the way you say things, the tone of your voice. It's the Mercury energy. This is more like your telepathy empath. You know what I mean? And so Aquarius more like your physical empath, but also all air signs is claircognizance, but they got other abilities too. So a Libra is more like in the center, it's your heart. Could deal with the heart energy center, the green. So a Libra, the green and blue, all air deal with the blue or different shades of blue in general. And Aquarius, I know, so it's purple too, which is claircognizance energy. All of them claircognizance. This air energy, because claircognizance is they know, and they deal with knowledge. They know from knowledge, the knowledge that they took in, they know. And so sometimes they just get information out of nowhere, especially Aquarius. Aquarius do it the most. But the Libra deal with the heart, so they're more emotional, they're more sensitive, so they're more receptive empaths, picking up on information, more emotional empaths. And so not only is they mental, claircognizant, but they're emotional too. So they got some of the same energy as a water sign, as far as picking up on emotions. They deal with the Venus effect. So that's the difference between the three air signs. One is they can, like a Libra can relate to everything and everybody. I relate and I balance, so they're going to be more balanced. They need that balance. They're all about peace, loving, peacekeeping. So these are the type of Libra, and they're more creative, like to live the good life with Venus. So your Gemini is more like the expressive kind. These are your expressive people who know how to bring people together. They're quick thinkers, quick in thoughts. They deal with the word, and they can trick you, and sometimes they can deceive themselves. They think so fast and so quick. But these people here come up with ideas quickly. You know what I mean? And these people here know what to say and know how to make the words sound so good. They're good with the lingo. They're good with, they're your lingo specialists, so they be good translators and breaking things down. All air signs can do this. Some just like Gemini just more in tune with that. Like all air signs can do that, but Gemini be more in tune. Like a Libra can do it. A Libra can do the same as Gemini and Aquarius, because it's in the center, it's balanced. But Gemini is good when you need them to speak for you. Yes, speak for you and to carry out anything that deal with the mind. Gemini would be that person. And so details, Gemini have a little bit of information of everything. So these would be your go-to people. And so you want them to be your counselor, guide. They know what to say, and they know how to read your mind too. They could be very much mind readers. All air signs can be mind readers too. But Gemini would do it more than the others. So that's basically what I'm saying. Like Libra's more like your feelers, imaginative, and they can feel and they can understand your shoes that you're in, and they can relate to you. But Gemini had a two-tip thinking, the two-tip expression. They just know how to express themselves. They know how to deal with every individual differently. Then you got Aquarius. Aquarius is more like your unique people who give you practical solutions, real solutions. And they know how to come up with different solutions and ideas that nobody ever come up with. They don't like to be bored. No air sign like to be bored, but Aquarius like to be different. And they like people that's different. They understand that we different. So they more like a humanitarian. They think like universal empath. So they good with dealing with smelling something. They can smell when something wrong. So they got this second ability. They got also the second ability where something strike them like a lightning bug, because they deal with change. They deal with like all of a sudden, information, all of a sudden anything. So Aquarius is very excited type. They're very excited type. These are the type that you would go to when you're talking about bringing ideas. When you're talking about bringing ideas, or one of the wise advisors that's different. It's not really the wise advisors, but they'll be more like different type of advisor. Give different information that would do just as good as what a Libra say or a Gemini say, but it'd be different. And you'd be like, wow, I never heard of this. This is a very great idea. See what I'm saying? They bring out new solutions, new problems. They got a scientific mind where they do good in discernment, like knowing what is right and knowing what is wrong. Libra also good at that, because Libra is the scale. Anybody who's the scale is the judge. So the judge understand both sides and understand everybody's perspective. But one thing I want y'all to know about the air signs don't be attached to people, places, and things like that. And anytime something get very horrible or go wrong, they can detach themselves from you or the situation or the people or anybody and move on. So the air signs start something new, especially like a Libra, because it's a cardinal air. It'll create something new, a new way of thinking, new way of doing things. And Aquarius do it because they deal with uniqueness. They create things new anyway. So Aquarius do this anyway. So air signs are the masters of both small talk and deep conversations. They can talk, any type of talk. Almost any subject that you want to get on, air signs can get on. I said almost. It depends on, like Aquarius, it got to be something that they're interested in. Because Aquarius do their own wave. A Libra like to relate to you, so they like to talk about some of anything. They can go there with you. A Gemini can go there too with you, so that's another one. But Aquarius can be like a little different. They like more different than the other air signs, because they make their own waves. And it's all about if they're interested in it. They might be so advanced in mind too, they might don't feel like they interested in that. But Libra like for everything to be in peace and harmony. So they just want to hear what you got to say, even if you right or wrong. A Libra just will listen to you, because they know by listening to you, since Libra so far they think like 10 steps ahead of you. They already know by listening to you, it'll make you feel good. And Libras love to make people feel good. They're all about love. They're all about harmony. And Geminis, they want to see people get along too. They like to do it because they can. And they like to test their mental strength and their skills. And they know their skills and what they can do. So this is like a profession to them. like a profession to them. So the Geminis. And so yeah, air signs are definitely clever and charming. None is better than the other. I want y'all to know that. As far as with all these astrologers be talking about who's the smartest, none is smarter than the other. All air signs has its abilities. Because the air sign deals strictly with the mind. They just do it differently. Like a Libra, very cool, calm, because they more about on the love frequency, on the peace, love and harmony frequency. But a Libra can go there because they about justice. So they can chop you down just as Aquarius do. But Aquarius be more blunt, because Aquarius is rebellious for the sake of it. They might want to rebel against your thought just to create another thought. See, that's how Aquarius do. See what I'm saying? Everything you say, they might rebel. And a Libra is objective too. They go with the underdog. So that's what you got to know. All air signs have some of the same ways, but in different ways. See, they operate a little different, but none is better than the other. Far as when you type it out, this talking about Aquarius is the smartest sign. That is not true. When they say Scorpio and all of the smartest sign, that's not true. They don't really know what they be talking about. See, by me experiencing and being a scale, about balance, about truth, because that's what the scale is about, truth and harmony, air. You know what I mean? Which means all air signs is practical too, because they are doers. That means that by me experiencing this means that I'm going to tell the truth to you. I'm not going to be like these other astrologers. I don't follow everybody's waves. See, that's the air sign. Air sign creates something that's new. I'm a Libra, and so I create new ways of thinking and give you the easy breakdown. And air signs don't like to be in their emotions and their feelings, but they can be. See what I'm saying? Air signs could do all of them. They could do the water element. They could be into their feelings and intuitive. And also they can do the earth, be very practical, and they also could do the fire, which means very spiritual. They have a lot of energy. So the air go into the past, which is the water. They go into the present, which is the earth, and they go into the and they go into the future, which is the fire. Because the air go into all of them. That's why the air don't stay in one spot. You can't hold the air sign down. They are leaders of society, and they deal with the intellectual perspective. And I know y'all think that the Virgo is really the air signs, but Virgo has the ability too because it got Mercury, so it has the ability. But a lot of you think that the Virgo is smarter. It's just that a Virgo is more like earthly, more solid, which means that they'll be more into it than the air sign because the air needs some weight. See what I'm saying? A Virgo has weight. It has earth to back them up to keep them going on the mind aspects. See, air sign might be into all type of stuff. It has nothing to hold them back, nothing to hold it down. It needs some earth so it can stay consistent and persistent, even though it is persistent and consistent, but we're talking about on one thing. Because the air sign is all over the place. Like I'm thinking this, like while you talking, I hear you, but I hear the other person talking too. But I hear all two of y'all talking, and this is how air sign work. I'm a Libra air. And I can hear you talking, and other person talking, and the person behind me talking, but I'm still thinking about something else in my mind. And you be like, did you hear me? And I might be in my mind, and then you might say it again, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I heard you. And then I repeat what you said, see what I'm saying? And then I can repeat what the other person said. But I've been thinking of something else, see what I'm saying? That's the air sign. Air sign deal with the mind. I'm talking those who balance now. All air signs can't do that who is not balanced and who not eating right or thinking right. So you got to be able to think right and eat right to be able to do this. Now we just talking about really the upside of the air sign, because the air sign can be one of the most destructive on the planet. Because they are plotters, they thinkers, they schemers. They can be all that on the downside. They got ways to destroy you with ease. Because they deal with the mind. They deal with ways to strategize. Air signs know how to strategize, especially Libras. Libras are the master of strategizing. And so you talk strategies and stuff like that, plotting. Air signs are high within. You won't even see an air coming. You won't even know that it was an air sign person influenced you to rob a bank or to do this. That's how smooth they are, especially Libras. I am that Libra, I know. And I know many air signs other than Libras, like Geminis and Aquarius, who smooth. So, Gemini is definitely the most trickster, so they definitely can persuade you to do something and you don't even know that they persuade you. See what I'm saying? So a lot of air signs you have today, we talking about on the downside of destruction, and so a lot of these rappers are air signs. They done persuaded people to kill, and you don't even know that they did it. It be them air signs. A lot of them can get away with that. But they also can be sloppy too at the same time. So air signs is the smooth type because they're good with the mind. And they already know how the outcome gonna play out a lot of times. Like a lot of times, a situation, I already know how it's gonna play out. I think about it, and I already know how it's gonna play out. I was like, yeah, I knew it. That I say to myself, I knew it. And a lot of people always come back to me when I give them wisdom out. At first, they'll downplay it, then they say, you're right. See, that's they always thinking. They always in their mind. So how can you beat the air sign? Period. It'd be hard to beat them when dealing with the mind and communication. Then the Libra is creative at that. They got the Venus effect of the creative skills. So Libras is creative. See what I'm saying? All air signs is creative. Matter of fact, Mercury too. Because they got ways to create. See, the air can do almost anything. Anything they set their mind to, you know how they say, whatever you set your mind to, you can do. That's the air sign. That's why this is the most important element. That's why they are the smartest. And if they're not the smartest, it's because they got other elements in their chart that hold them down, that take over other than the air. So when you tap into your air element and you master your mind, you balance it out, you be the smartest person like myself. A lot of people say, dog, you're university. What college you went to? See what I'm saying? That they say to me. I'm talking about rich white folks. So now that's a big accomplishment when you got rich white folks telling you that. People who supposed to be intelligent too telling you that. Not only rich white folk, but those who supposed to be nerdy type, those who supposed to be intelligence when they tell you that. See what I'm saying? And I told them I ain't went to no college. I ain't went to no university. I just study. I do this naturally, research, study. And I started thinking right, living in my truth, living in your truth. And I balance out my heart with my intellect. When you listen to your heart, your intuition, you're on point. And so air signs are smart thinkers. And they love to reason out things. I do that all the time. And like I say, air signs are leaders of society, and they have the ability to see situations from intellectual perspectives. They have that understanding without being clouded by emotions, because air signs don't like to be in their emotions. I didn't even know I had all this emotion because I ain't like to be in my emotions. But when I hold in a lot of stuff, I explode on a person. So because the SI can hold it in and hold it in and hold it, it can build up and build up, build up. I'm talking about a year later, and you just explode. And when I explode on everybody. See, I'm a Libra, so when I'm not balanced and the mood swings, and people like they be in shock, like, oh, they can't believe it, and then it'd be so hard and so deadly that it hurts so many people. And so air signs got that ability, not only a Libra, but the air signs in general, if they hold a lot in. But see, I had other elements like water that I didn't know that was so strong. But as an air sign, give me control of the water that was in me. I still ain't like to live by my emotions. I want to master. Now I blend in my emotions with the air. See what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. So the air aims to bring one souls in contact with a deeper knowledge by expanding it to its full potential, knowing no bounds, because the mind is unlimited. The mind is the all, and the all is the mind. And so every element has a mind, but Libra deal with the mind strictly, the pure mind. The reason why, because it's the lightest element. It's less dense. Like water has density to it, earth has density to it, and light has a little bit of density to it, which is the sun. And air, so the sun has density to it, but the air is the lightest density because it holds the density. So the mind holds all. The mind is in everything. And so they're the most intellectual out the bunch. Like, for example, a Libra also can read auras. The sign got all abilities. They can even read auras. When I say sign, I ain't just talking about Libra. I'm talking about Gemini, Aquarius also. So I'm speaking of the air in general. They got ability to read auras. They just got to open up to that, and they got to, it's already there. They can go to like I said, they can go into the past, the present, and the future. They also can go into every elements, which means earth, water, and fire. They can go into all the elements and become all the elements. The air can actually blend in and relate to people. Not only Libra can relate, that's just the Libra main title, but Aquarius can relate too in their way, and the Gemini can relate too. And also, not only Aquarius know, I know, a Libra know, and a Gemini know. Not only a Gemini I think, a Libra think too, and also Aquarius think. So, I know that they just give it a little motto, but we speaking on the air in general. All of them got that ability. I'm a Libra who did all of it. I did what Aquarius did, and I did what the Gemini did. I'm an air sign. I think and I know. Also, I relate. I balance. So all the air signs need that balance. So that's why that's important. And so, boom, they right at home in the mental field when we're talking about thoughts. They deal with thoughts, vibration, the electromagnetic field. They help create the world. And so the air sign deal with that. And so that's why if you got a lot of air in your chart, I know you chill up. No matter what sign you is, if you're a Pisces, if you're Aries, if you're a Taurus, you got a lot of air in your chart, be excited. If you got an air grand trine, be excited. If you got some air in your chart, be excited. Utilize your air, your mind. The air is the mind. The air is the consciousness. So what we sniff in the air, we sniff in the mind. We sniff in information. We sniff in colors. We sniff in sounds. So we pick up on information quickly. We know about sound. That's why we like music. That's why we like harmonious. Libras like harmonious music. Gemini might like all type of music. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius, but all air signs do love harmonious music. And Gemini might can handle all music, all expressions like that there. So you know, and air signs deal with the spiritual realm, and it deals with magic and astrology, numerology. It deals with any divination. So these people can be the most spiritual, and they're gonna create something new. They're gonna bring new ideas, new philosophy, new science to the world. All air signs got this ability, and they love to inspire people, help people, and like to exchange ideas and knowledge and information. They love that. That's why they like to hear your thought. I like to hear what you got to say. If we have like 50 people in the room, I don't want to hear this one person because they look good or they charming. I want to hear everybody's thoughts. I want to see how they think. Be like, oh, I'll be excited. Who the person think like that? A Libra is good at knowing people's characters, and they here to know people. Also, they here to know themselves. And sometimes they say that we know other people more than we know ourselves. We're here to know people. We deal with the human relation because love deal with that. Being acceptors of others, so we acceptors of people's thoughts. So we like, it's interesting. Even though weirdos who think crazy, we laugh at that because it's interesting because everybody got a good sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? We like to know how a person think. Like when I know how a person think, I say, oh, this person think like this. And we good at seeing patterns, repeated patterns in people. And say, oh, okay, this is how this person think. So when a person say that this person did this, I say, oh no, this person ain't did that. This person don't even operate like that. And I be right. See what I'm saying? So that's a Libra. That's a Libra. Libra know people. I know how to deal with people. That's why they say you're a people person. And they say you're good with dealing with people in the public. So, or dealing with people in general. I know how to deal with people. So Libra be good at working at mental health institution and psychologists and stuff like that, being good psychic, readers, and healers, and counselors, and guides. This is a Libra trait. Not only Libra trait, but a Gemini trait and Aquarius trait. They can do all that. You know what I'm saying? But also, Aquarius can do earthly stuff with the hands. They deal with the earthly stuff too, practical stuff. So Aquarius be good with like for businesses, accountants, and also Gemini and Libra also be good in business and accountants. So when you're talking about a teacher, a good instructor, you're talking about Gemini also. Gemini be one of the best. And Gemini be good. They got different ways of teaching. They're just not going to teach one way. And this is a trait that all air signs have. Everything that I named about each air sign, all air signs have it. It isn't one do it more than the other. That's all. All have it. So don't be surprised if you see Libra. You might think he a Gemini, or you might think he Aquarius. When nationality is the air sign. Our air sign has this ability. So when they talking about that the Aquarius is more intuitive than the other, no, they wrong. When they say that the water signs are more psychic than the other, they wrong. A lot of times they don't know what they feel. A lot of water signs don't know what they feel. Unless there's only two water signs that really know what they feel, which is Cancer and Pluto. Neptune, those who are Pisces, a lot of them I find out that they don't even know what they feel. They don't understand it. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't understand it, how can you be psychic? Psychic is understanding the energy, being able to read the energy and knowing the energy. That's all psychic ability is. Psychic gifts. You could be like have psychic sensitivity where you can feel the energy, but you don't understand the energy. But when we talk to clairs, like claircognizance, I mean you're psychic. I mean you understand. You understand. I know what I see. I know what I feel. I know what I hear. So this is different. When you got all clairs, deal with knowing. It deal with, because clarity. Clair mean clarity. And clarity mean knowing or understanding. I understand what I feel. I understand what I know. I understand what I see. I understand what I hear. And so that's why Libras can do all of them. And so when they talk about the most psychic, they lied again. You know what I mean? And it's proof. All you gotta do, just look at people in the world. Just look at these signs. A lot of times why air sign don't tap into the energy because they're not aware. Some of them, they really downplay themselves. They want to be more logical. They're here to be intuitive too, balance it out. They're not here to be just logical, especially a Libra. Libra supposed to be the judge of the zodiac. So you can't just go all the time by logic. You got to go by what you feel. You know that's not true. I know that's not right. You know what I'm saying? Through your experience, you just know intuitively, and you get downloads of information. You know what I mean? So now you understand. So a Libra do, a Gemini do, and Aquarius do live in their head a lot. They live in their mind a lot. This is air signs. And they can get along with anybody. And they know how to set a party off. These air signs don't like to be bored. They know how to plan a party, set a party off. These are some of the goodest people to be around. They're very kind. A lot of air signs are very kind, very generous. These are one of the most nicest people you can meet. They say that a Libra is, but that's not fully true. You can't X out the other air signs. All air signs in general is very nice. So we can't listen to everything people got to say. I'm a Libra. I'm telling you this. Libra is very nice. That's true. But you can't forget about Gemini and Aquarius too. Air signs in general, just the element. So they know how to relate, and they're very social. All air signs is charming. Especially, it's supposed to be a Libra trait, charming. I can agree with that. Some things you can agree with because of what you see. And Libra deal with beauty. So boom, because it got the Venus planet. But Aquarius, Uranus, these some of the best people that you can ever meet because they know your thoughts, they know your intentions. And these are the type they're going to ride their own wave. That's a good thing to like about them because they're different. And they definitely don't like to be bored. They're one of the most people that don't like to be bored. And they're very caring. Like a Libra is very nurturing. So is all the air signs. Libra be more nurturing because it got Venus in it. I can vouch for that. That makes sense. See, Libra do what makes sense too. Not just intuitively knowing, because we use our intellect, our imagination, and we use all of the elements that deal with the mind. Everything that deal with the mind. And we know that every energy center within our bodies is the mind. We are great storytellers, great journalists, interpreters. Yes. And we the one who help link people together socially. Yes. And we curious about some of everything we want to know. And so, yes, Libras can be not only Libras, but Gemini and Aquarius. These could be the ones who can also be so curious that they try all type of things to the lowest level. They can be into crime because or masterminded and stuff like that. They also can be homosexuals and bisexuals just because they want to try it. Sometimes it don't even be because they've been pressured. Some of them just be so curious. So it depends on how curious the air sign is. They can go to the lower. They can be like, want to be very popular. You know what I'm saying? They want to be so popular they can try all type of things. Just test it. See, air sign like to experiment and test things out too. Especially Aquarius. Aquarius good at trying out new things and testing things out. They do it more than the other air signs, but all air signs do that too. I'm a Libra and I test out things. And I know I already thought of it. I already thought of it before I put it into action, but I just want to see if it's true. So, and a lot of times, most of the time, maybe 100% of the time, it come out true. I already thought of it. A lot of things I don't imagine in my mind before I even do it, and it be true. So, and that's the air signs. They can think it, imagine it, and they can feel it and manifest it. Or I forgot about speak it. They can speak it because they're great communicators. They speak it, and they can manifest it. So these are the type, just how they work their magic. It's through the mind, through speaking, through writing, through arts, through creativity, through their imagination. I made many things happen manifest through imagination. Imagination is the biggest gift that air signs have. So they can be very much clairvoyants too. They can be all the clairs. They have all the psychic abilities. They definitely have claircognizance. They know because they deal with information. They like to know about people. So they make great investigators and researchers. So these are your air signs. That's if they choose that. It's already there. They already got the gift. They do some of the stuff they do naturally anyway. Investigate and know about people. And these are not your jealous type people neither. All that jealousy, that's not the dough. It's hard for air sign to get jealous. They got other elements within themselves that take over. So we all got more than one element within ourselves. It's just that if you're an air sign or air dominant, you either an air sign, which means a sun, a moon, or rising, or you got an air dominant in your chart. So if you got the air sign that's controlling things, this is how you win. Because when the mind is in control, you win. But the mind can't separate from the other elements. So when the mind I bring my Venus effect, that love, that emotional effect, I become that empath. I can feel your pain. I can feel your energy. I feel it within my body. I can pick up on your thoughts and feel what you're saying. So not only relate, that Venus bring that feeling to it. They bring that love glow, that light, because Venus also represents light to it. So now you understand how it works. So don't listen to everything that these people say. They are like they don't know. Everybody's saying the same stuff. Like they're saying, I probably looked at about 100 Libra videos, 100 Aquarius videos, 100 all this or that video. So that's an air sign. I'm just giving you an example of an air sign. Look at many of this, many of that, because we like information. We like to see what's the difference and do comparisons to bring out an answer. That's an air sign. Air sign like to get to the bottom of it and bring the answer, bring the truth out. We do discernment. So we talk the mind, the master of the mind, it's the air signs. You got the cardinal, the leader master of the mind, then you got the fixed master of the mind, and then you got the mutable master of the mind. And so, boom, boom. So it'd be hard when you trust a mutable because they're not fixed. See, a fixed is the most trustworthy, which is Aquarius, but all air signs change their mind a lot. But it's just that the Gemini is the one you really, it will be hard to trust because they all over the place and they can adapt to anybody. So you got mutable that can adapt to anybody. And so don't get it twisted now. Libra could too and Aquarius could too. It's just that the Gemini would do it more. And anybody who like that, it's hard for them to stay solid in something. So I understand that. It ain't that they don't have emotions, because all signs have emotions. I don't care what it is. And everybody has all these elements within themselves. Some got more than the other. But if you got air controlling and air dominating that ruling, basically that's what it means, ruling over your being. It could be, you don't even got to be a Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius as far as your sun, your moon, or a rising sign. But if you got a lot of air in your chart, you're already winning, and it's dominating your chart. You're already winning. So you just got to utilize this energy to help you, beautiful people. Utilize this energy to help you. You know what I mean? Because the air signs need to share their thoughts, their ideas. This is very important to them. And they're very sensitive. Right here, it says very sensitive. So if you're very sensitive, I deal with feeling, you can feel very sensitive. Oh, that means that they have feelings. They just don't display. They don't display emotion. I don't know why they say unemotional, because that's untrue. Everything got emotions in it. So they just don't type that you don't see the emotions. They don't be all into their feelings. But sometimes they can't help it but to be in their feelings. Depends on their environment, depends on what somebody said. Then they get into their feelings when dealing with thoughts. That's just different. They get into their feelings differently. When dealing with the mind, when dealing with communication, that's when they get into their feelings. Or what you said, stuff like that. That's when they get into their feelings, air signs. It's all about what you said, or that were bad or toxic, or you know what I mean, or you over talking them, or you think you're smarter than the air sign, you might have a challenge there. Or you think, or you trying to downplay an air sign, a person who has an air sign, their intellect, then you might have trouble there. So air sign represents the breath of life. So we just let you know, if they the breath of life, this is what you need. And it's this exchange of what? Electrons. Electrons is like the negative ions. You need that. So positive ions can destroy you. Negative ions you need, which is electrons. And life in the trees. That's why these people are nature loving. Air signs are nature loving. They love some everything. They like to know about everything. You know what I'm saying? They like to experience things. They like to experience the air, experience nature, experience the water. So they can pick up on information about this. So these are your information guys. Anybody who the information guy is the most psychic. That explains it itself. So now this can show you for people not to say that the water sign is the most psychic. Now they know what's really the most psychic. They just say the water sign that because they feel it, but the air sign could too. It's up to the air sign. The thing is, it's up to the air sign to get into that. The air sign can do it forever because they persistence with it when they get started. So with that being said, that's all it is. So air is your first nutrition, the primary nutrition. Yes, you need that. Your breathing is the voice of your spirit. Your breathing is the voice of your spirit. And the mind is the voice of your spirit. That's why it's good for a Libra to think positive. Because not Libra, but all air signs to think positive, like a Gemini, Aquarius, and all the air signs, even a Libra, it's good for them to think positive, because the more they're taking positive concepts and philosophies in their head, they keep them scribing, the better They be spiritually, mentally, and all around. So how a air sign heal those who have air dominant in their chart is through the mind. They can heal their whole being through the mind, through what they know. So boom. And by dealing with people, being good to people, being acceptance of people. And so they are the voice of the spirit. These air signs is the voice of the spirit. They're the voice. They're the mind of the spirit. And they're the smoothness, the sound. And they have to reflect the mood. These are your deep thinkers. Air signs always reflecting. And so everything they did throughout that day, they're going to reflect on what they did and correct themselves over and over and over because they want to be the professionalist, especially a Libra. And also Aquarius. All of them want to be good at what they do. Gemini be the least. They might don't care more than a Libra and Aquarius about professionals, but they do it too. And so all air signs want to be good when dealing with the mind, dealing with communicating, dealing with thoughts, and they want to feed you information. They want to give it to you. They want to show you how to live your life better, how to improve your life. These people really want to help you. These are humanitarians, and they will fight for you because a Gemini is all about freedom, and so is all the air signs. They're all about freedom. All air signs don't like for you to be all up on them like that. You know what I mean? Unless you got other elements in your chart where you like to be close bonding with people, like get a whole bunch of water and all the other stuff. But the air sign don't like to be in your presence every day. A person with an air sign can live in their mind and have sex with you in their mind. They can have sex with you in their mind. And they can think of you and feel happy with you in their mind. They don't have to be around you every day. These people can live, they can be away from you for 2, 3, 4 days and feel good that you with them. They feel like you with them in their mind. They feel good like you're already there in their mind. They don't have to be all up on you. They think of you all the time in their mind. And they feel like you feel like you there. Because their mind create feelings. And so air signs is the one. They're the originals. They're very original. They do things different. And they can be well disciplined too. The air signs well disciplined and quick thinkers. And not to say that they are this the upside, but we know they got a downside too. According on to the planet too. Also, we know that. You know what I mean? But speaking on the air signs in general, they like to reason out things, to rationalize things by thinking out things. But sometimes they got to balance themselves out and use their intuitive knowing. And they use their intuitive thinking and knowing more than they know. So the one thing about an air sign, they recognize, they know all their flaws. They know if they're intuitive or not. I know a lot of people say that a Libra don't know if they're psychic. They know. Someone don't like to use certain words because I don't question a lot of other Libras than myself. Someone don't like to say like I might say you psychic. They might call themselves a seer. See, they know. They say I'm not psychic because they don't want to use the word psychic. It depends on what level they on of learning. Like my understanding is high, so I say psychic or spiritual. But they know. I've been around a lot of them, and they read people like they know people. I've been in institutions like it's a place that I go to that deal with mental health people, and I help them out due to knowing people nature. And this lady, she just knows she a Libra and she just know people. She know them. She know if they're lying or not. You know what I mean? She can read them well. We both Libras. As many Libras go to that place. So I observe people, not only Libras, but they got Gemini, they got Aquarius, they got all type of people, but mainly people who deal with the mind. And also Scorpios, a lot of Scorpios there too. So none is really better than the other. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know people like to categorize stuff and do it for fun, but I'm telling you, beautiful people. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you're talking about who's the best, it'll be the air element. Why? Because they deal with overstanding and understanding and understanding the information, understanding what you're saying. They pick up on things quickly. They can break it down to you in the simplest term. Where people might say big words, they're saying I'm going to break it down in little words for you. Like what I do. I'm a Libra. I'm an example of that. Even though I got a lot of water in me and all the other elements, but you see how I break it down? Easy. They have good personality and they are easy. Yeah, we easy going and we easy to know, get to know. These are air signs, unless you got other elements in my chart. Some of the other elements might kick in when it comes to like getting too personal with you. But I am easy to know, easy going, and to be around. And so mental activities like the intellect. We got ability to reason, like I say, to comprehend. We deal with thoughts. We deal with memory. They got good memories too, air signs. But at the same time, it can be good, but also not good because we always overthink. Think about this, think about that. And forgot. Then they have to come back up. That's claircognizance, where you know again. You know what you said. It just come right back up. You thought you lost it, but it might come back up an hour or two later. Oh, I know. So air signs are philosophers called seers or priests. So now you understand. I'm trying to tell you. So in the ancient times, only educated people were priests, royalty, and those who took it upon themselves to acquire knowledge, or seers, or clairvoyants. And plus claircognizance, I can add all the psychic abilities because they could be clairsenthians from their thinking. They can feel what they say. Especially a Libra could deal with Venus. It depends on the planet too. Make you more of this, more of that. But the air sign can play out through all of them. They also could do trickery and deceive you, and take your life and trick you. And also, these are a lot of air signs get locked up more than the others when they mind not right, so they can be mentally insane, unbalanced, and don't care. These are the ones who won't care about you. They don't care what you say. Your words don't even matter. These are the air signs. It's just an opinion to them. You got to show facts. With the air signs, you got to show facts. So I'm saying, of course, yeah, because they just like the fire sign where they can express them opinions and they do it a lot. And so drugs don't mix with the air sign. Drugs don't mix because it can keep them unbalanced. So drugs ain't good for air signs, period. And so they can also do physical violence and everything else too, because their mind can trick them to this and that when they're unbalanced. So watch out for that. That's what the air signs have to watch out for. And so we talking about dreaming and all that there. And like I said, they can go into all world. They go into the dreaming field, storytellers, journalists, and everything else. Now you understand, it's the air signs that make the world. It's not the water, the fire, the earth. And you can debate against that all you want. But when you look at it and you say, oh, well, why does Pisces was like this? I bet they got air in there. I bet they got air. Air. I said, I bet they got air in their chart. They got some type of air, some placement in the certain placement in their chart, or a whole bunch of air dominant in their chart, or they got like a rising air or moon air. I bet you got that in their chart to help them out. Because you can't just have no, I don't care what nobody say. It just I intuitively know. You're not just gonna be psychic if you have no air in your chart, period. You got to have some type of understanding. You know what I mean? I know Earth give you understanding, but it's not, nobody will give you a great understanding like air. Because Earth could help out. It will help out, but air will give you more understanding of everything. Air deal with facts, evidence, and truth, just like the Earth. The Earth is more earthly. The air lives in his head all the time, in his mind. Mind is always on fire, always thinking, and always have to do something, and don't like to be bored. That's how air people move. You know what I'm saying? Balance is the key to air signs, period. They deal with the summer breeze, they deal with the air, they deal with the fall, period. I'm saying the air is very important. The solar winds, they can cooperate with people. They know how to cooperate. These are your peacemakers of the world. And they want to make people's lives better and the world better. And they come up with solutions. They are your problem solvers in the world. I think I'm about done with this in a minute. You know what I mean? Because, the air signs are very fair, clever, balanced, about justice too. And these are your fighters in the world. So just their thing. Let live and let go. Because the air signs, especially a Libra and the Gemini, they will let it go, but they won't forget. Aquarius be more the ones who hold a grudge, then they don't hold a grudge because the air signs is not attached. So if you got other stuff in your natal chart, that's why you hold a grudge. You got other elements that's stronger than the air in your chart. Then okay, that's why. And so we know. We need air every day to survive. Now you understand. I think I done proved my point by the air signs. If you don't believe me, do your own research. Look at air sign people. See who got the most air signs in their chart. And check out all those who are air signs. Check them out. Do they play mind games? Is they in their thoughts? Those who play mind games a lot. Those who love mind games themselves, like they like chess, they like games that deal with the mind. These are your air signs. And they like to test things out. They like to investigate. They like to be analyzed. Some say call nosy, be nosy. These are air signs. They can be your spies and everything else. They deal with the mind. Those who into the field of science, psychology, astrology, numerology, let them check out their charts. They will have some type of air placement, especially if they got Jupiter in Libra, or Gemini, or Aquarius. You'll see it. It depends on their placements too. See what I'm saying? That air is what hold people down. It's the core element. So don't let nobody fool you. Nobody. Nobody. I'm the true dissect to bring you to something that's different that nobody bring you. See what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm doing this for you, for all you beautiful people. Know what I mean? So if you got some of this in your chart, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. If this not your sun, your moon, and rising, don't feel bad. If you got a lot of this in your chart, then you good. If you got it as your Jupiter, certain placement like Jupiter or Mars placement, then you good. If you got it as your Mercury placement, or how you think, then you good. Depends on where you got it at in your chart. You good. So now you understand by the air element. These are your fun-loving people who aspire you. It's the good life, baby. These are your people, your air sign. They don't like being bored. They don't like foolishness. They don't like downers, like uppers, something bring them up, not down. They like inspiration, motivation. These are the people that don't like to be so attached to you. They give you your freedom. They like when you be your unique self. When you be yourself, they like that. These are your air signs. You got to love the air signs. If you don't, something wrong with you. Because air signs are some of the best. You know what I mean? They're some of the best. They try to tell you that air signs ain't psychic and only Aquarius psychic. Sometimes they say Gemini and Libra. No. Your air signs basically is the most psychic, especially when dealing with the human nature. Libra relates to everything. So what is they talking about? And Gemini know how to intuitively communicate with others and bring people together. What is they talking about? So Aquarius, of course, they how to intuitive. They come up with different solutions to problem solving skills. And so all the air signs on higher frequencies of understanding, overstanding. Ain't no element that can really compete with it. So it's best for all the elements to come one with it. Come one with the minds of the world. So you can open up your channels. Do everybody have the ability? If they don't have air signs in there, I say yes. You still, because you can open the waves up, create new waves. But it's going to take some time to grow into it. It's going to take a lot of time. But you got to really want it to grow in it. You can grow your air element. That's what they didn't tell you. You can grow it. You can grow your mind. When you be into your mind, learn how to think. But it's best to be around people who are air signs, or best to have books that deal with the mind, deal with psychic ability, that deals with how the energy works. So you can open up that space. So if you got a little bit of air in your chart, you can do it. And even if you don't have no air in your natal chart, you can do it. So however, it's up to you at the end of the day. It's just more easy for those who already have it. So now you understand why they are your professors, your good thinkers of the world. And they know how to move. These are your wise ones of the world, your sages, your teachers, and your instructors of the world. Now you understand why. These are your scientists and your intuitive geniuses and empaths. Or whatever you want to, whatever they set their mind into, they can do. Because the mind is most powerful. The mind creates other vibrations and frequencies and energies and patterns and behaviors. Not only the mind that's in your head, but the mind in your heart. Because Libras definitely deal with the heart too, the mind and the heart. So now you understand. All air signs basically deal with the heart too, not just Libra. So don't get so caught up in it. Now you know the element of air. I just broke it down. It's arcane lit. Air sign bringing it to you who have other elements too within my being. Got more water than a little bit. It got just as much water as air. But my air gonna help control my water. So my air say, go ahead, water, and intuitively feel, and the air give me understanding of what I feel and what I know. That's why I can break it down to people. So now you understand. This is how it works. Ashe, ashe, ashe.